we give them. And Joe, the director here, takes Dennis around after we rescue all of his cats. And he's like, well, there's your cat, there's your cat. These two are his cats. They were previously, well, hi Tahoe, you guys might want to watch out. Sometimes she does spray. So, Tahoe and Roger Girl, who are both in here, were privately owned by a man who ended up going, he was a big sweetheart.
Oh.
You know what she is? Cougar. Another name for a cougar, mountain lion, puma, catamount is what early settlers called these cats. Native Americans call them ghost walkers, so they are a North American species and a South American species. We get calls for roadkill deer. Occasionally the keepers will bring in little roadkill squirrels, so if you see somebody who looks like other people who are younger, stopping on the side of the road and carrying a squirrel back to the car.
Oh, we saw those on the way down. Gosh, we could have brought you some.
Yeah, we feed those to the small cats like the Asian leopard cat that we have here. Chopper, she absolutely loves squirrels. The ocelots love squirrels. The bobcats do. Now,
what is he eating?
What is it? A cow head.
Oh, I can't.
We do all the butchering. I vowed to not touch meat for some time. I've been vegetarian for about 13 years now. I have to learn how to butcher, and now I know how to completely gut and feed out. Not something I thought I'd be good at college, but it's going to absolutely. He's content. That's a happy man.
Yeah. Look at his lips.
I got this whole head all day. He's like, you look good too.
Wow. I'm from Ohio, so I can't decide if I want to go back to Ohio or apply for IU. However, Ohio would be really So that noise she's making, it's called it's called chuffing, and it's a noise unique only to tigers. That's one another out in the wild, especially if others have been I try to chuff that sound at the same time. Samara! And she is a very, very happy cat. She was in a cage with her two sisters, Clementine and Kachina, from Great Cats of Indiana. We rescued them, brought them here. All three of those girls lived up in the far field for quite some time, and we would have to keep one of them in the small part and then two of them out in the big part, and then rotate them out. And it just got to be a big hassle. They would fence, fight. So this 4x4 inch here is big enough for us to fit our arms through, and big enough for them to fit their paws through oftentimes. So yeah, that's chuffing, by the way. We went ahead and had this cage opened up recently, and we moved Samara in here just last week, and she couldn't be happier. We find that with unspayed females, they tend to fight quite a bit more than spayed females, and especially if they're sisters.
Fun.
You should put him on video, maybe.
Are you installing any shade in there, or is it shade back?
She has shade in her box.
Oh my god, that is so sweet.
It will grow up at some point. This is sort of the most sunny area. Around the other side is all shaded. She doesn't seem to mind herself.
Nice.
Aww.
How are you?
You look well, okay.
How are you? Now, it could be the environment, it could be the keepers here. We don't really have a definite answer, but Felix, come here. He's our best impersonator of Chewbacca as well. So. Hey, buddy.
I'll put that there.
They like to do this during feeding time, and we have to get them shifted out of this part. They're always the most thirsty. And they're like, okay, you've had all day long to drink water, and then...
Just for the time. Oh, feels good on the paws.
So unlike house cats, tigers absolutely love the water. They will do everything in their water, which is why I was so grossed out when I got splashed in the face. So they will take their food in there, they'll pee in there, they'll poop in there. They will drink out of it, and they'll sit in there all at the same time. They don't care. Are you happy, cat? To a dark barn. Basically left to fend for themselves in this barn. There was also some horses and an elephant running around. This circus trainer, after he was done, training cats all of his life, he wanted to just basically hoard these cats. USDA called us. They're like, hey, you need to go up to northern Indiana. I don't remember the city, but and rescue.
Belly.
You can see this is one of the boys. It's definitely a boy. Yep. Is this a Suma? Yes. So this is Suma. That's Big Boy.
Oh.
What are we doing? Orchestrated or whatever, and government funded. Sort of been cutting that down as far as how many inspectors go to how many places every single year. You better be nice to him. So that's Big Boy. You guys will notice that he walks kind of funny. He looks a little strange.
Which one? This one is the setup?
Yep, on the left there. That's Big Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi, Biggies.
Aww.
So breeders allow this to happen. A lot of times those cats are put down because they're just not good enough. They're not going to sell. He is grumbly. He likes to harass his neighbors.
Oh my god, so
Oh.
They're only in captivity. They do happen naturally, not in the wild, but it's not. I mean, it's a product of inbreeding, just like the white tigers are a product of inbreeding. However, white tigers seldomly found in the wild. The only one that they've ever found was back in the 1950s. They captured him, brought him over to the U.S. They started captive breeding programs. They started with they bred him with an orange tiger, and then to all of his offspring. So, Sahib. His name's spelled like Sahib. Goes hand in hand.
she likes this one so fun. That's like her MO.
Desperately needs meat, so you gotta send somebody out to get it, pick it up, load it, bring it back. It gets back and you still gotta butcher it. So we'll be here till like 8 o'clock sometimes, so it's definitely not good. Now we will all the cats have 2 parts to each cage. You may or may not have noticed. All day long the cat has access to both parts. This is a small part in here, the big part's out here. There's a slide gate in between. If that was a tiger in this cage, there's a cougar. It's probably right along the other side over here. God, Ben Johnson does like this way. And there's
Poor gal.
This is Jody. This is Casey. Back in that corner is Nyla, and then there's another tiger in here named Cuddles. So we do have to know how many cats are in every single enclosure. It'd be really scary if you walk in there and you think there's only 3, and then we find one more kind of wandering about. Casey is the only boy in here. He is neutered. Occasionally the girls will go in to keep, so he still gets to have his fun, but there's no repercussions. So, Casey is from New Mexico. He was found wandering across the streets, and nobody had ever put out any sort of claims that there was a tiger wandering loose as far as somebody lost their pet or whatever. So we went down to New Mexico and rescued him. And then Cuddles and Jody were the two that we were initially going to rescue in Pennsylvania, and then we came back in 2018. Raj, across the street over here, is also from Pennsylvania. He came as an adult. He has to stay alone as an adult. Here or under as well, we rescued her from an abandoned warehouse where she was being used originally as a promotional item at a bar. Yeah, once they decided they no longer wanted to take care of her, they dumped her off and just left her to starve and die. So we've got cats from about 24 different states right now. Groups are either siblings or they're introduced cats.
What's the youngest you've ever got?
White tiger, like I had mentioned earlier, was captured in the 1950s, brought over to the U.S. They started captive breeding programs, bred into an orange tiger, then to all of his offspring, and then all of those offspring to all of their offspring, and thus began inbreeding. So every white tiger that you see today, you can trace genetically back to the first white tiger captured in the 1950s. And I don't have anything really negative to say about a whole lot of zoos. A lot of circuses I do. But zoos are really out there for the preservation and conservation of a lot of species. However, with the white tigers, they will buy them from breeders, just like white tiger owners will buy them from breeders. Not really too particular about whether or not their genetics are pure. They're definitely not if they're a white tiger. So it sort of goes against their mentality that we're only going to have, conserve this one species. So. It does occur naturally in the wild and even quite often. So we have a whole slew of black leopards here, and they're spotted just like the yellow leopards. They're actually dark chocolate brown with black spots. Let's see. Her name's Shiloh. Boy Pello can jump 7 to 10 feet straight up into the air, catch birds right out of mid-flight, and they do this in Africa. A lot of people mistake these cats for baby cheetahs. They have the longest limbs and the largest ears in proportion to their body size, and they are colored similarly to cheetahs. They're found in that same range, so they need that sort of same camouflage.
Wait, so there's another one in here? Or
Yep. In here, yeah, she's used usually very strong, especially for their body size. We have cats here that are clan killers, though, from their previous owners. Here. Yeah, we've had cats who have taken down their owners, mauled their owners. One particular instance out in